the national co-chair of the Everglades Coalition. You had asked for our address today, so I'm happy to give it. I'm also a homeowner in Palm Beach County, very happily in Delray Beach, 4730 Barrett Street. Love to visit the wetlands up in Delray Beach. I do appreciate the presentation. You know, we've been asking for such a presentation for many months now, but I think why you're hearing so much frustration is because we're not here just to talk about constraints, but about opportunity, and to have a real serious conversation about the obvious opportunity that's in front of us in a real way, with an appraisal, with a process, with a path forward, to have a fair conversation for these people who've come out. I certainly have been out. You've heard from me month after month. And maybe my words aren't the most effective, so today I'm going to borrow some other people's words, if that's okay. Dedicated funding will allow the South Florida Water Management District to identify and fund additional storage projects in the future. That's what Governor Scott said when he was here just a few weeks ago. He talked specifically about storing land to save the Everglades. The issue for us is, can we use the land? And the answer is yes. That's a quote from the former chair of this board, your predecessor, Mr. Eric Bierman, and that's what he said when the contract was first negotiated 5 years ago. Who can be against it? This deal was going to save the Everglades. That's a New York Times quote from a former top U.S. sugar executive. And one of her colleagues piped in that it was a fantastic deal. That was 5 years ago, of course, before the economy started to bounce back and land value increased. It may not be a good deal for sugar anymore, but it is for us. For our Everglades and our estuaries, we need to buy the land. Thank you.
Thank you, Cara.
My name is Stephen Davis. I'm a wetland ecologist with the Everglades Foundation. Appreciate Mr. Tibbetts' presentation on the problems we have with the Central and South Florida project. We know this already. We actually have a solution to solve many of these problems, and it's called the Comprehensive Everglades Restoration Plan. Rather than using these constraints as impediments to restoration, we need to be rethinking them again as the rationale for restoration. Especially implementing the EAA reservoir project of that plan. We strongly object to using water quality as a constraint on the ecosystem and its restoration. Fact is, we're not doing enough to clean up water pollution at the source. This is why the lake is a mess, the northern estuaries suffer, and the Everglades is starved of fresh water. We can't restore our ecosystems with dirty water, so we've got to do something about this. It's been suggested recently that we could use the A1 parcel for a deep reservoir storage rather than using it to clean up polluted EAA runoff. While we appreciate the recognition of this opportunity for storage south of the lake and the significance of that, our analysis shows that taking that approach would result in QBEL violations 30% of the time. You simply can't abandon water quality commitments to meet the storage needs. Both are essential. That's why we need more land in the EAA. As troubling and confounding as this seems, we're actually at a crossroads. On one side, we can do nothing and remain forever mired in these constraints. On the other side, we can take action and actually acquire the lands that are needed to construct the EAA reservoir that would allow us to move significant water south and begin to cut this Gordian knot. The need for storage south of the lake is undeniable. It's been echoed as a priority by the National Academies multiple times. It's been echoed recently in the UF report, and even more recently by a vast majority of Everglades scientists who signed on to the EAA storage petition. Time is of the essence. We need to purchase the land, construct the reservoir, and so we can have the storage and treatment to restore the ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you.